better daily, where we work hard in our minds, bodies, and our spirits to become 1% better every single day. Download the app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live to catch the video version of these podcasts. Here's your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to Better Daily Live. I'm your host, Alex Van Houten, and this morning is Monday. Monday is Mindset Monday, and today we're going to be talking about the mindset, not alone. First of all, I want to hear from you. What's your mindset today? What's going on? What are you starting the week thinking and praying out? I'd love to hear about it. Good morning, KT. Good to see you here this morning. What's up, John? Thanks for joining me, man. This morning's mindset, not alone, comes from some prayer and conversation I had over the weekend as well as this morning, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. Not alone is filled with so much, so many different ways you can take that, and so I'll unpack a few of those things here. If your mindset this morning needs a little help, I hope this will help you out. So, not alone. What does that mean? Not alone. Well, first of all, you are not alone. Whether you like it or not, there's 7.9 billion other people on the planet, and so you're not alone. And every once in a while, as a father of 2 young children, that's a problem. I'd really love to be alone sometimes. Solitude is a wonderful thing. But the mindset this morning has a little more to do with the idea that whatever you're going through, you're not the only one. There's a strange thing about humanity, and that's that our subjective experience, what we understand, how we think, how we feel, where we've come from, what's floating around in our brain, it's uniquely ours. There's a unique problem in science, actually, that looks at, blue. I've got a blue background behind me, right? I see blue that way, whatever it is I'm seeing right here. Good morning, Elise. But you might see blue differently. But how do I know that the blue you see is the same thing as the blue I see? I don't. You see blue and I see blue, and we both call that blue, but for all I know, your blue could look like red, which would be a really weird world, by the way, in my brain, if I tried to flip-flop like a red sky. That was blue. Man, that would mess with my head. But that's a unique problem in psychology specifically, and in neuroscience, is that consciousness is uniquely subjective in the sense that you experience you, right? So in a way, no matter what you do, you are alone in your subjective experience. However, what I mean by not alone is that no matter what you've gone through in your life, and no matter what you've thought, and no matter what you've done, there is a truth, and that is that, and this is spoken in Ecclesiastes, the writer says, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything you've thought, everything you do, everything you think, like everything you've been through, all those things, they're not unique to you. There was a time in my life where I thought that I was alone in my struggle with fatherlessness. I thought that I was the only one who felt like, man, why don't I have a dad? Why did all the other kids have somebody at their football game and I didn't, or maybe I thought maybe there's something wrong with me that nobody wants to be my dad, right? So I thought I was alone in that. And what's crazy is as I've become a father myself and I've had the opportunity to get to know many other fathers, I wasn't alone there. A lot of guys grew up without a dad, and a lot of guys had a lot of the same questions I did and had a lot of the same struggles I did. And what's been so powerful about that is actually speaking that out loud and being real and authentic and open with other men in my life. I've found that none of us in that circle are alone. We all have questions about how to show up well as a dad, even though our example wasn't there, or maybe wasn't a very good example, or maybe wasn't everything that we want to be for our children. And so I'm not alone in that. There was a time in my life where I thought that I was alone in my struggle with Ehlers-Danlos. I thought that I was alone in the injury cycle. I thought I was alone in the pain that I was feeling. And in a way, it's my burden to bear. It's my cross to carry, right? But at the same time, there are many other people that I've met through my training practice, that I've met through connections online and whatnot, and even in my daily life, who wrestle with pain and suffering on a daily basis. physical pain and suffering. It's a very difficult thing to muscle through when you wake up in the morning and you're in pain. And the question is, what do you do today? Even though most people in that position might curl up in a ball in a fetal position in the corner and cry the day away, or numb yourself with Candy Crush, or watch a movie to try to take your mind off of it. The struggle with how to live meaningfully in pain, you're not alone in that. And today's mindset, Not Alone, I hope is as a comfort and maybe even a challenge to you. We'll talk about the challenge part in a second, because no matter what you're going through, no matter what stress you're going through, you're not alone. And there's the challenge. And the challenge is this: you're not alone if you choose not to be. If you're in this group, if you're in Better Daily, then you have people in your life. You might not know them very well yet. You might not even trust them very well yet. You have people in your life who are sharing the experience that you're having right now. And being able to speak that out loud. Sometimes just saying, look, I have such a stressful, stupid, rough week at work coming up. Like, oh. And, there are people in this group. If you're listening to this, drop a comment. Like, do you have a stressful, rough week at work? You can drop a smiley face or a hand raise or something. Because here it comes. You're not alone in that. What's up, Chad? He says, this is going to be a rough work week for me. I feel you, brother. You're not alone. I've got a stressful, rough week at work. I love what I do, but it doesn't mean that it's not difficult. And similarly, I know people in this group have confided in me and told me that their work's really crushing them. It's weighing on them. It's difficult. You're not alone in that. You might feel alone in the struggle of your health and fitness journey. You might be making changes to your nutrition that you're really wrestling with. You might be making changes to your exercise program that your body's not really happy about. And you might feel like you're uniquely crappy at running. Or you're uniquely against sardines. I had a client reach out to me over the weekend and send me a picture of sardines and says, all right, you win. I'll give it a shot. So another one bites the dust. Yes, I've got another one in the sardine club. And this was one of the, I will never add sardines to my diet. Thank you very much, Alex. And I didn't pressure them. They just came around. So you might be next. You're not alone in your disgust of sardines or your deep emotional connection to your Starbucks latte that you need to give up. You're not alone. And I hope that in thinking through this, you'll understand the challenge. And the challenge is not being alone. You feel like you're alone. It's difficult. You're alone in your subjective experience until you speak it. Till you find another human being who is going through the same things you are. Maybe they're not, but you speak it anyway. I have a really good friend in my life. He's really wrestling with his marriage right now. They've butted heads. They're trying to blend families. It's a big, giant, difficult mess for both of them. So much good can come out of what's going on. But he's alone in the sense that it's his problem. It's the thing that he has to wrestle with. He and his wife have a lot to work through, right? But we stood together in the driveway and we had a great conversation about it. And he gave me a hug after, and I was like, hey, thanks, man. Like, it really helps to know that I'm not alone. Now, I'm not going through the same thing he is, but he got to speak it. He got to say it to somebody. He got to put it out into the world, what he was wrestling with and what was difficult and what he thought he needed to do and what he knew he needed to do and what he hoped would happen and what he was scared would happen, all those things. He got to say it. You're not alone. You're not alone. You got to speak it out. And if you are wrestling with even finding a human being that you can say those things out loud to, Elise says, hey, it's hard to explain my subjective experience. Even if I'm willing to put it out there, it's hard for me to articulate what's going on in my head so that I don't have to be alone in it. That's fair enough. If you're not there, I will encourage you on this Mindset Monday to write it down. Write it down. And if you're of sufficient background, or maybe you want to put it up in the air just to see what happens, write it down as if you were praying to God. Write it down as if somebody who really cares about you and wants you to be successful and understands what you're going through is listening. Write it down. Put it on paper. You can burn it afterward. Nobody ever has to see it. You don't have to actually share it with anybody. Give it a shot. Write it down. You're not alone. You really are not alone. Not alone if you choose not to be. So, this is Mindset Monday. You're not alone. You're gonna go through some rough stuff this week. That is life, but you're not alone. I hope you'll take that to heart. I hope you'll tell somebody. If you don't have nobody, as my 6-year-old would say, I got nobody. Not about being alone, but that's how he would grammatically articulate that sentence. You're not alone. This has been Alex Van Houten with Better Daily Live. Thank you guys for joining me on Mindset Monday. Don't be alone this week. Until next time, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% Better today. Don't forget to subscribe for the podcast. Leave us a raving review to tell others how Better Daily has helped you in your journey. If you want more Better Daily, download our app and join our Betterment family at betterdaily.live. Use code POD to get 25% off your subscription. That's POD, all caps, to save 25% on your subscription. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.live today.